Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas. We're back with 5 scrapwood projects you can make for Christmas out of scrapwood for Christmas. I realize it's like October and stuff and Christmas is still a little whiles away, but now's the time to start making stuff so you can have it when Christmas comes. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be making from scrapwood are these minimalist Christmas trees. I just took a random board of alder that's about 3/4 inches thick and ripped it in half. You'll end up with 2 pieces that are a little under 3/8. If you want staggered Christmas trees, you can go with a 4, 6, 8 measurement system where you do 4 inches tall, 6 inches tall, 8 inches tall. That way there's different depths to all of them. For this next cut, I'm gonna go from corner to top of tree, corner to top of tree, and that's gonna require me using the miter saw at a different angle. Cutting material this way can be a little bit dangerous, so be careful. Make sure to do what you're most comfortable with. Maybe a jigsaw or a crosscut sled on your table saw is the cut you need to be making for this. After you've got your 2 triangular pieces that make up the Christmas tree, you want to measure to the center of each board, and then you're going to use your square to mark lines that are the exact thickness of the Christmas trees that you've made. That way, you can cut the bottom out of one and the top out of the other, and these 2 can slide together and make a 3-dimensional Christmas tree. I'm using a coping saw here to cut the material away, but if you wanted to get crazy with it, you could use a bandsaw, jigsaw, anything like that. After sanding them and then finally getting these 2 pieces together, all that's left to do is give it a nice clear coat and maybe paint it green, and that is all it takes to have minimalist Christmas tree decor for your console tables. This next piece of Christmas decor is straight out of the trash pile. This is gonna be a fly by the seat of your pants type project. We're gonna be making Christmas snowflakes, and if you know anything about snowflakes, each and every single one of them is different. So the first thing I'm gonna do is cut 3/4 inch pieces of poplar at about 18 inches. And then I'm gonna cut several pieces that have 45-degree angles on each side that are about 1.5 inches long. As you lay everything out, you start to see that this snowflake is taking shape. And like I said before, the direction of this snowflake is completely up to you, but I made arrow-type tails on my snowflake, and I'm using CA glue to glue it all together. So up until now, I'm kind of half winging it, half going on inspiration from the internet. I added a diamond to the center just to tie it all together. And then after I did all of that, I realized I needed one more leg to the snowflake just for a little bit more symmetry. And after that, it was just time to spray paint it white. This is something fun that you can do with your kids if they're new to woodworking. And in general, it's just all around a great beginner woodworking project. For item number 3, I'm just gonna come out and say it. We're making giant candy canes. I have seen all over the internet people making giant candy canes out of 4x4 posts. Well, I couldn't find a 4x4 post in anybody's trash. I looked, trust me. But at the cabinet shop where I work, right by our dumpster, we keep all of these 2x2 posts that come on the lumber truck, and I decided I could make a mini giant candy cane out of these guys. This project is a bit more complicated because it involves cutting angles, but I'm gonna tell you all of the angles and all the measurements you need to do this for yourself. The first thing you're gonna do is set your miter saw to cut at 4 inches, and then you're gonna cut 4 blocks at 4 inches. After that, you're gonna set your miter saw to cut at 23 inches, and that'll be the long stem of your candy cane, if you will. And then you'll change the angle on your miter saw to 22.5. And for 3 of those 4-inch blocks, you'll cut each corner off of them. And for the 4th, you'll cut 1 corner off of it. After you do that, you'll take your long stem piece and cut the corner off of it at 22.5 inches. And then once you set everything together, you'll see you got a candy cane. There are many ways to join this guy together. You could drive a long screw, you could just glue it, but I'm stapling them because it really is a DIY project that I don't need to put a lot of time and effort into. After that, I'm gonna sand all sides and make it nice and smooth. And then I'm gonna use my Graco cordless Connect to put a full all-encompassing bottom coat of white paint on these candy canes. After that, we're gonna wrap each individual one with this green frog tape. That way when I come in and I spray it red, I can create that striping pattern. Because this is a delicate process, you have to get those tiny fingers in there to take that tape off for you, so I brought Colby in to make sure the job got done well. That's a candy cane. Lastly, it is up to you to decide where these guys are gonna go. I think I'll put them along my driveway to create a border along our walkway, but you could always add hanging hardware on the back of these, hang them on a wall somewhere as wall decor. Alright, so for item number 4, everybody has a random 2x4 laying in their yard, right? If you don't, you can always go to a job site. In their trash can, they're going to have dimensional lumber that you can use. 2x4s, 2x6s, This next project is the easiest and cheapest project on the list. We're gonna be making gift wrap table decor with dimensional lumber. For this project, all you'll need is a 2x4 or a 2x6. And just like the Christmas trees on this list, you can chop them up at different increments like 4 inches, 6 inches, and 8 inches. Bust out your sander and sand them up really nice, flat, and smooth, and round over those edges so that it looks like you put a little bit of effort in, you know? I know this is builder grade lumber, 2x6s, you know, you'd see this in the framing of a house or something. But a sander can make this look nice, you know, round over the edges. And it's usable material for specifically what we're working with it for. Next up, you're gonna pick out your paints. Obviously, I'm going with green, red, and white because those are pretty Christmassy colors. The paint jobs on these don't have to be great because we're gonna hand sand them up and make them look nice and rustic. To finish these off and to make this the quickest and easiest project on the list, we're gonna tie a nice little bow with 3 different types of ribbon that match our color palette and then set them out nice and gently on the table and you are done. This is the easiest project on the list by far. Item numero 5. For item number 5, we're gonna be using an entire palette and a Sharpie. I think this project is probably exactly what you think of when you think about rustic Christmas decor. To start out, I'm gonna mark a line from left bottom corner to top center and right bottom corner to top center to make that triangular Christmas tree shape. After that, I'm gonna cut all the back pieces off of this palette because we're gonna use them to make the front face a little bit fuller. If you're good at pulling pallet boards and you leave the nails still in those boards, you can take those boards, lay them right back onto the pallet and just hammer in the nails that already existed. And if you're not good, then just use your daughter and she can get the job done. If you can get a pallet with a big thick bottom board, you wanna make sure that you leave that bottom board and cut it symmetrically to make it look like the base or box of your Christmas tree. After you've got all of your boards where you need, you can just set your camera up where no one can see what you're doing. Take your circular saw, cut across all of your boards on the line that you scored earlier, stand that bad boy up, and it should just separate and fall apart into a Christmas tree. After that, you can sand it up and leave it rustic for that down-home Christmas tree vibes, or you can take the time to paint it, make it green, put ornaments on it, and really take it to the next level. I even took the time to paint the bottom black, and then to paint the trunk of this Christmas tree brown. After that, I dusted it with some white, and then took my sander to it to make it look a little bit distressed, and hopefully like a more natural Christmas tree. Because this is a fully scrap wood project, I'm gonna take some drawer pulls that I used as Christmas ornaments from a Christmas tree I made in the past. You guys might recognize this tree. It's been featured in 2 separate videos, one specifically dedicated to making it, and the other one just featured it briefly. I'm taking the ornaments off of this Christmas tree and I'm gonna put them on my pallet wood Christmas tree, and then finally, we shall be done. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Do not be a Grinch this Christmas season. Hit that like button and subscribe. Come on now, don't steal my Christmas. If you plan on doing any of these projects, let me know in the comment section down below. Link them to me, I want to see them, I want to see what you're working on. I really appreciate when you guys are inspired by my work and yours. If you watched this video and thought to yourself, man, that was so good, how can I give this guy money to repay him? Then you're in luck. I have a lot of stuff listed on my Etsy store that you can buy to support the channel, so head on over to reformationwoodshop.etsy.com to grab something.